is going to be Hajile, who's AKA DJ Black Lotus, and he's a great friend of Socialist Action who performs spoken word and music regularly in Toronto's West End and often appears at SA events. So he's going to do one number for us, and then we will have the Socialist hip-hop as our second.
You want to speak just here?
Speak in the middle?
Does that work? Or
I can use your microphone, I guess.
yeah,
Okay,
whatever you want to do. That's fine. Great.
Check 1, 2. How are we doing tonight?
Good.
Woo! Welcome one and all. So how can we change the world? Reverse the downward swirl. Enable upward swing. Switch and heal. Everything. It's going to take some time. First step is to change our mind. Align with an open heart. We must all do our part to dismantle imperialist regime and actualize humanitarian dream. Fascist capitalism is not the way. The government has gone astray. When it comes to righteous path, they pursue opposite of that. Opportunity, prosperity, erase, just like the smile on our face. But find joy and vision of new dawn if we the people remain strong. No, don't give up hope, now or ever. Will we back down? The answer is
Never.
that's right. Stand up for what we know is just. Freedom, justice, equality is a must. As above, also below. Earth is an extension of heavenly flow. The divine energy we share can break up the corrupt, unholy marriage between church and state. As a blessed creation we make, a brave new world full of souls, happily achieving their goals. Some unified and some not the same, but the question remains, how can we change the world? By being the change we deeply desire to see around us existing. Keep taking positive, progressive, revolutionary action. Keep resisting racist, right-wing, nationalist factions. Protesting the deterioration, everything we hold dear. Be fearless in the midst of imposing forces which aim to make our most basic human rights disappear. They say the end is near. Don't listen to endless words about our world ending. Rather, we can save this planet by mending whatever divisions are made manifest to distract. The revolution is not colorblind, but in fact, we whiten out with black ink all that we previously were conditioned to think over time. We can change this world by working towards developing more compassion sublime, not being afraid to care, sharing our world's beautiful design. And always remember, we're all here together. This world is yours and mine. Peace. Thank you.
Okay, so our next is Muhammad Ali's Socialist Hip Hop. Muhammad is a great friend of SA and the left. He recently performed at Rebel Films, where we celebrated his new CD, which is on sale also here today. So go ahead, comrade.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just going to do a quick little 3-minute thing. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do a bit more. This is my second of 6 gigs this weekend.
Woo.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody in the movements in the city. My album just came out, and there's been so much support across the board with giving me opportunity, space, platform, and it means the world to me. So y'all know, you'll see me tomorrow night, but I do have albums for sale. You can catch it for free online on Spotify or iTunes, or if you want to buy it, you get a free Solidarity keychain. It's $20 for the album, or it's free online. Holler at me tomorrow if you like this piece. And one last thing, tomorrow I'm going to do some pieces that you most likely have not heard before, so stick around tomorrow night. For now though, democracy now. Would you send your future son out to Ferguson? Would you see the front line or be the first to run? Would you still rally if the battle won't be won? Ferguson, Ferguson, this goes out to Ferguson. Cause they got me putting rent up on my visa. Tell you sky is the limit. They don't want to see us reach it. They want to keep us down. They want to keep it secret. The people, united, will never be defeated. All the way at the top, they don't see it. Champagne by the leaders. My leaders, elitist. I'm sick of broken treaties. Sick of how they treat us. The people, united, will never be defeated. The power of the people stronger than people in power. They're powered by the people. We put those people in power. Hours turn to days, days into decades. Work 8 to 6, then raise my kid. I'm living in a debt age. Pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Joni Mitchell never lied. Still, the block is hot. Pipelines from the Barren Sea. Pipes where the bear should be. We need solidarity. We need solid air to breathe. We won't weep if we reap what we sowed. We believe, giving each equal peace. That's the goal. We don't steal. We don't scheme. They see us as drones. Machines, worker bees for the queen on the throne. Say no play on no game on no board. When the stakes is your life, you take him what's yours. Money, power, respect. What my people call it. I mean, we making all this money. They just keeping all it. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. They just keeping all it. Would you send your future son out to Ferguson? Would you see the front line or be the first to run? Would you still rally if the battle won't be won? Ferguson, Ferguson, this goes out to Ferguson. Cause they got me putting rent up on my visa. Tell you sky is the limit. They don't want to see us reach it. They want to keep us down. They want to keep it secret. The people, united,
Will never be defeated.
all the way at the top, they don't see it. Champagne by the leaders. All my leaders is elitist. I'm sick of broken treaties. I'm sick of how they treat us. The people, united.
Will never be defeated.
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 Muhammad Ali, I'll be back tomorrow night. Enjoy the...
Thank you very much to both our comrades. Okay, everybody, welcome to the 11th Annual Socialist Education Conference. 2 days of education, discussion, and debate about today's key issues and the political alternatives facing humanity. My name is Elizabeth Byce, and I'm a retired worker of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, who's still on strike. And
Yeah.
hopefully there'll be a tentative agreement, but only if there's a good one tomorrow. And I'm also the federal treasurer of SA, and you're chair for this education. We acknowledge that this gathering takes place on the unceded territories of the Huron-Wendat and Petun First Nations, the Seneca Mississaugas of the New Credit, and the Haudenosaunee people. We call this gathering a Socialist Education Conference. Why? Because more people today are looking for socialist answers to the problems we face that comes from a global system in decline. Many are turning to revolutionary Marxism for a scientific explanation of the ills of capitalism. Moreover, they want to know what to do about it. This weekend, we will be looking at history, economics, and political strategy. We will propose a concrete program for action. We are proudly part of the working class. Workers are the vast majority of society, or the so-called 99%. But if the problem was just a matter of overcoming the super-rich 1% minority, the working class would have solved the problem a long time ago with a simple vote. Unfortunately, there is a huge apparatus of control that keeps the capitalist class in power. Divide and rule is their method. The challenge facing the working class is to unite across the lines of oppression, whether the basis of that oppression is race, gender, sexual orientation, language, or nationality, we need to unite. But to do so in an effective way, we need to develop and implement the program and strategy required for working class victory. By critically addressing political issues past and present, as we will do at this conference, we can find a way forward. The theme of this conference is Out to Change the World. And we will be having 4 sessions, and tonight's session will be out to defend Doug Ford and defend. Oh my God!
What he did today?
Pick me up now.
The wrong room?
Out to defeat.
Yeah.
And contend with the NDP and Labour bureaucracy. Oh God! I'll never live that one down. Tomorrow we will be having at 4 p.m. session and 1 p.m. session and then a 4 p.m. session, capitalism and patriarchy. There's a few, and then our 7 o'clock one tomorrow night, boycott apartheid Israel. It is time for a coordinated pan-Canadian mass action movement. So these are our sessions, and we hope that you will stay and come back tomorrow and attend all 3. So these are very big questions, sisters and brothers. We hope that they will be addressed to your satisfaction. Not by me, that's for sure, when I'm defending the board, but anyway. We invite your participation in all the discussions so that we can learn from one another. We are approaching the 25th year since the founding of Socialist Action. SA is a revolutionary socialist organization of workers and students, women and men, youth and veterans of the class struggle. We are pleased to welcome here activists from Victoria, British Columbia, from Manitoba, Quebec, and New Brunswick, and across southern Ontario. And of course, we have speakers from the USA and here tonight, Comrade Lisa, and we will be having speakers from Skype, I do believe, from Greece and France tomorrow.
And New York.
And New York. Workers from different unions, from feminist and anti-poverty coalitions, from the NDP, student organizations, and social protest movements have come to this event. Our aim as socialists is to put knowledge to work for fundamental change. We strive to build a mass revolutionary workers' party that will play a decisive role in ending capitalist minority rule. We seek to create a socialist democracy based on majority rule. We invite you to join Socialist Action. Separately, we cannot win. Only together we can achieve the goals of liberation. We hope this conference will convince you to unite with like-minded people to create a better world. Our conference consists, as I said, of the 4 public sessions. Tonight, after the session, also, we invite you to join us for a drink at the Duke of York pub, just a block north of this building up Bedford Road. We celebrated his new CD, which I'm sure he has on sale here as well. So I'm going to turn the floor over for a couple of numbers by the hip-hop, Socialist hip-hop.
When Michelle was 23, she was picking up the pieces. The life that she lived all of a sudden ceases. Jesus, pray you never feel that pain. Husband walked, left her kids, she's starting over again. But she gained a new appreciation. 2 years later, down in Cap, pediatric graduation. She reset her fragments anew. Her ex called her up, she's like, I'm good. You? As a youngin' for Michelle, family was first. Now that she has her own, she's dedicated to hers. And to your kids, she's more than a nurse. She's an arm around the shoulder when the therapy hurts. Her daughter's smiling face is a cue that she's back home from playing the role of the community backbone. You can see it in her eyes with her daughter clothes shopping. A couple of years ago, she didn't have the option. You may not know her personally, but she's the faceless person you see, facing lunacy of bureaucrats who often enough making promises like we'll never have your hospital touched. The Michelles of the world, the ones who had it so rough, are the first ones to say that enough is enough. What a shame it would be if some government cuts brought her back to where she started, $600 a month. What a shame it would be if some government cuts brought her back to where she started, $600 a month. Socialist vocalist, y'all know me. If you got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @Socialist Hip Hop. That's a piece that I've rarely performed, but I really want to share with y'all because y'all hear a lot of the same songs when it comes to Socialist Action. So that there is Dreams Part 2. It's on my album, Very rarely performed, but there's 3 different stories, and there's lots of songs on the album that you haven't heard, which like Liz was saying, had just come out. So if you want, without disrupting the speakers too much, I'll be around for about 5 minutes before I go to my next performance, number 6 of 7 this weekend. And you can buy the album, you get a really cool Solidarity keychain, or if you want, you can also buy posters and poetry books. Each song has a poster accompanying it. That's Labor of Love. I'd love your support, it would mean a lot, but if not, the songs will be free in a few days on Spotify or Apple Music, so if you can't afford to buy the album, you can still listen online. And with having said that, I'm going to do a couple anti-racism pieces, and the first one is called The Daughters of Asada, and it goes a little something like this. We the sons of Madiba,
Daughters of Asada,
sisters of Mumia,
brothers of Guevara,
we the sons of Madiba,
daughters of Asada,
life is a script. I'm not an actor, but the author. We them overseas kings turned slaves by overseers. We them beauty queens turned to booty jeans over sneakers. Once announcers, but we're left without an ounce of freedom. We've been Willie lynched. We've been pounced and beaten. The Sanskrit first they banned it. Then we're branded bandits. Yet still we can't quit. Take an honest land trip. Yo, ran down to the ground like sowing seeds of cotton, but the fruits of the slavers smell like something rotten. Land of freed slaves, sugar cane bitter sweet. Just like Alabama, strange would hang by its feet. No retreat from defeat. We meet the deceit in open combat, arms stacked and that war drum beat. Us the sons of Madiba, daughters of Asada. Resistance in sonnets, no need to raise an armament to raise revolution. That's like Nat Turner, don't need no gat burner cause we pack that sojourner. In a grand circus, we chant curses and chant verses on your aunt's purchase, cause damn it, our bank's worthless. We spit fan service, a plan with a grand purpose. Then they ask us to jump like Mike, better worse, twerk like Miley, big grin, bug-eyed smiley. Cold spitters been turned to court jesters, like a used car salesman talking about a chrome Lexus. For instance, the press appropriate our resistance. How you think a poor slave state is in existence, doing dirty works for peanuts like Pigpen? Dog, we waging war against extinction. Yo, Martin Luther King felt the marksman shooter sting, marking a future swing to our marketing super binge. I said, Martin Luther King felt the marksman shooter sting, marking a future swing to a marketing super binge. We hear in one ear elders saying, yo, let's go. In the other ear, elders saying, yo, let go. Peddling hope. So we believe in going forward. But remind me why we heading overseas and getting tortured. They ain't speaking with the same voice, truly they never did. Today they jailing us with labels. What a clever trick to lock our mind in glass jars, to contain us and detain us. Fill those jars of bubbles of champagne and cocaine dust. Few understand what I'm talking about. For a rose that grew from concrete, still a flower that sprouts. Pac said that rose is stronger than the one from fresh meadows. And even he wondered,
does heaven have a ghetto?
Pop, Chris, Public Enemy, we chart these albums. For my generation, those the new Martin and Malcolms. Lessons time tested, like sundial shadow makers. That's why we don't trust in no mules or no 40 shallow acres. Cause we the sons of Madiba.
Daughters of Asada.
Sons of Madiba.
Daughters of Asada.
We the sons of Madiba.
Daughters of Asada.
We the sons of Madiba. Daughters of Asada. The album just dropped. Please support if you can. Buy an album, buy a poster. The time for more?
Yeah, one more.
Oh, all right. Yeah, please, mean a lot of support. Also, so great to see you again, Suzanne. It's been so long. That's always a treat. Suzanne and John, Barry as well. They have been listening to my music like 11, 12 years ago when it first came out during the anti-war movement. Yeah, back when we did a fundraiser for the War Resisters Support Campaign. Did a lot of Haiti Solidarity work together, so it's great to have comrades who were listening to music from the beginning. And should we finish off with Precarious or Democracy?
Let's go.
You know what? Let's do Labor. Title track off the album, Labor of Love, goes a little something like this. Yeah. This life is all mine, I'm its owner and its author. This life in my mind, I must hold her in honor. This life, she's too short. So I cherish every moment. With each sunrise I forfeit. Another day gone, another night passed. Never know how much longer she might last. Scarce and precious, a valuable commodity. The wisest of teachers, this is what she taught to me. This for that Laborer, love your calluses, build your palaces. For that single mom, 3 babies, 3 jobs, unconditional love. I know this life's hard for my people with the farmer's tan, toiling soil until the harvest land. For that nurse who never called in sick, reading to your kid on a 16-hour shift. See, it is what it is. This is why we love our labor. Give back to the world, not to return a favor. You my neighbor, you my fam, co-worker, you my man. You know I got your back wherever we gotta stand. Push that clock again. I'm logging in my hours. It ain't sunshine and flowers, but we know it's ours. We may not get all that we pay for, and yet we must certainly pay for all that we get. Love. I don't love this money. I get it from my kids. Put that work in. Jordan on the whiz, drop him off at school, reporting for my shift. A couple more months I can afford another trip. Disneyland, me and the little man. Disney World, me and the little girl. Next year, maybe we won't need the rental van. Next year, oh for sure, I'm gonna have him on that dental plan. See, this is what it is. This is why I love my labor. Put food on the table, every night's a Seder. I work all day, loving wifey from a distance. Still get home in time to tuck the kids in. Listen, all the grind, dog, I go for mine. But I'm tied up, double overtime. But Lady Luck got me pouring lemonade in my cup, cause my life is like a labor of love. Every single word over every single note. These are the realest thoughts that I ever wrote. Lost my dad when I was one mad kid. Sleeping on a bed that we found up in the trash bin. Kids threw me to the pavement, they threw me cause of pigment. Teacher tried convincing me that it was all a figment. OCD, I was one stressed out kid. Don't like touching on my childhood cause step-pops did. See, this is what it is, this is why I love my labor. Give back to the world, not to return a favor. Set me free, so now I fight for justice. Never had a dad, so I adopted Frederick Douglass. I work so hard it hurts. That's my art of work, even when you're out of work. An art of work as hard as dirt. To carve a mark upon this earth, to carve it out, you gotta work. Love. At Socialist Hip-Hop, I'll be in the back if you want to buy an album. But please, if you do want to buy an album, respectfully, and don't disrupt or take away from the amazing speakers who are talking about obviously very important issues that have to do with Palestine. Socialist action, comrades, thank you so much. Peace, love, solidarity.
Thank you. If you don't have it,